You're building the empire.
And we'll help you protect it.
Because even the most powerful women
still have trust issues. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back to Trust Issues.
Trust Issues, yeah. Another episode.
Another episode. We're excited today to bring you another episode. Make sure, are you liking and sharing our episodes? I hope you are. I hope you're not just holding on to this wealth of knowledge, that you're sharing it, that you're liking it, you're subscribing to our channel. I am one of your co-hosts, Attorney Urenia Ricks-Johnson for Ricks & Associates, and I have my sister here.
Yes, I'm the sister. I am Erica Hall with EH Wealth Advisors. This is a place where money meets mindset, power meets protection, and legal meets legacy.
Yes, we're so excited about this episode. We're going to dive into some great things that are happening.
Oh, yeah.
Some things that maybe you hear about or you've even experienced, and we want to just let you know as we get into this, that this is for informational purposes only. This is not legal advice because we have another expert here. She's an expert in the legal field, and she is here to give us some knowledge. It's just some general information, but based on her experiences. And I'm talking about no one other than my law partner, Ricks & Associates, Attorney Lori Waddles. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, everybody. Hey, great to be here again.
Yes, we're so excited that you came back to see us. You have given us so many things to think about in the family law arena, and based on the episode that we have had you on. Mm-hmm. So we decided to have you to come back. So thank you.
Well, welcome. Thank you. Hey.
Yeah, you comfortable now. You one of us. You the circle.
Right, you're the circle now.
You done got me started.
Yes. So
I love it.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about something that's in the news, and it's something that we have seen and we have heard, and a lot of times it's a lot of myths connected to it. And I'm talking about ICE. Ice baby today.
Too cold.
Too cold.
Too cold. It's cold outside. Yeah.
Yes. So today we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about who ICE is, right?
Yeah, who is ICE? ICE.
Who is ICE? So Lori, let's talk about that. What
exactly
does ICE stand for? ICE stand for?
You know what? I know it's immigration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, you know what? Because that's not really my area. I just know them by that acronym. Mm-hmm. But help us, Urenia.
It stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
There we go.
It's the federal agency responsible for enforcing immigration laws. So this is the agency that actually is the federal enforcement agency for the operation and to make sure that citizens of the United States are operating within the laws of the immigration laws that have been set by our lawmaking body, which is Congress. Mm-hmm. And there have been laws set up about how immigration happens in these United States. Mm. And the organization or the arm of that helps to implement that is ICE.
Yeah. Customs enforcement.
Yeah.
Okay.
So customs enforcement, they handle deportations. They handle investigation when people cross the border. So this agency has been set up by the federal government in order to help to provide that oversight and help us to make sure that people are abiding by the laws that have been set up. They are not local police. So they are not.
They're not the local police.
They are not the local police.
They are not the local police.
They're not the
ICE is they are separate from your local police department.
Yes. Okay.
In fact, they are not police officers at all.
Now, that's a big misunderstanding then, because many people assume that they're working together or they work in the same way. So this is a separate agency that has been established for a specific purpose. Mm-hmm. And so how is it that they're interacting with the citizens in the way that they're doing when it's supposed to be for immigration?
Well, let me say this. My understanding from, again, my limited experience is that when there is a circumstance where the local police believes that there is some immigration implication, they are summoned.
Okay.
Meaning they summon the ICE officers, and the ICE officers come onto the premises of where there's, some suspicion that there's some implication with immigration to, wrestle the situation. That's my understanding.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I'm seeing reports of them being first on the scene. The ICE agents following people, tracking them down, posting outside of locations, schools, and things like that, where the local police are nowhere involved.
And that can happen because, as I stated, they're an extension of the federal agency. So a lot of times the local police may not know that they are on, the government has what is called a removal list. Which means that if there is some reason why when people come to the United States, most of the time they're seeking some type of status.
Yeah.
Right? They may come initially as a visitor, and then they may want to stay longer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They may come on a particular grant of some type of status, which is a visa. So a visa grants them status and within the visa it states whether it's for a particular time, if it's stated in that visa what it's for, if it's for employment, whatever it's for, right? So a lot of times when you see people on the removal, sometimes it's based on the fact that they have overstayed that status.
Okay, because like an Einstein visa that the First Lady is here for.
Yes.
Okay.
So if that is not converted within a period of time to a permanent visa, so let's say that visa is just for a temporary basis where it's for 2 years and you stay here for employment and you are here for that purpose. During that 2-year time, you are required or you are requested to actually try to get a different type of status to stay beyond that 2-year period.
Okay.
Otherwise, you are ordered to go back. You're on a list. You're on a removal list, right?
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
But the government, depending upon the government that's in place, let me not say government, the administration is in place. It depends upon how those removals are handled.
Okay, so this administration has taken a different approach.
Correct.
To the removal process.
Correct.
That's why we're seeing what we're seeing.
They've become more active with the removal process, or a lot of times removal is based on some type of action that triggers the agency to get involved. And when I say trigger, that's normally happens when some type of activity that's happened to put the individual on their radar. Right? The current administration is not waiting for those triggers necessarily.
Right.
If you're on the list, they are taking it upon themselves to be more proactive and say, because you're on that list, and technically by law, you are scheduled to be removed, or they can remove you because you're on the list.
Correct.
Right?
Okay.
But under certain administrations, there are triggers that says, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and move forward because it could be that I'm actually applying for that permanent status that we're talking about.
Right, right.
Applying for asylum, as they call it.
Asylum, which is relief, or, you have a lot of people what is called refugees, where they're coming here because they've faced some type of hardship where they come from.
Yeah, persecution, political persecution, So what about when you see they may be at a hearing? And they just completed a hearing, and you saw some folks who were looking for, asylum, following the rules, following the protocols, and there may be some agents that may get them coming out of their hearing.
Now, depending upon the outcome of the hearing, depends upon what they can and cannot do.
Yeah.
Right? So if you are requesting relief and and let's say that you are on the removal and you're seeking asylum and it's denied.
Yeah.
Technically, when it's denied, your removal is the court will ask you, do you have plans? If you're not able to give them plans or some type of plan of action, they can take it upon themselves to make your plans for you.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, you're
Right.
giving us some insight as to a different perspective. You know, a different
And
way
I
to
will
look at it.
say that I'm to understand that, to your point, there has been a circumstance where someone was called in to discuss their plans,
Yeah.
and the person in charge of that meeting excused themselves and came back, and they put handcuffs on the people and escorted them out of the meeting.
Oh wow.
So I say that to say,
Mm-hmm.
as we've alluded to,
Yeah.
this administration has broadened
Mm-hmm.
the powers
Yeah.
of these organizations, the ICE organization.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I know we're going to get to perhaps some advice for those that may be vulnerable in this circumstance.
Yeah. Because as we were getting prepared and, getting ready to do this episode, I was sharing with you, immigration has never been a part of our lives. I mean, I can't speak for the two of you, but for me, growing up in Detroit, being able to walk across the bridge to Mexican Village and hang out at Xochimilco's.
Yes, that was the place.
And my classmates,
Brown people.
Yes,
Mhm.
my classmates, best friends. This is our community.
Right.
Not just it didn't just pop up this year.
It used to be more humanistic.
Yes, it used to be. Now, of course, as we got a little older, we knew to get off the bus before the bus made it to Southwest Detroit.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah, my brother rode the bus home one time and he fell asleep and missed his exit. He said they tapped him and say, "Hey, Holmes."
Okay. Hey, bro.
You sure you didn't get off?
Well, because
to go
they
too far?
live collegially
Yeah.
with their own people, just
Yeah.
as African Americans do.
Right.
Some people of
Right
Asian
across the
descent
bridge.
do, Arab descent.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there was a little mixing and mingling,
Yeah.
But they just was waking him up, letting him
Right.
know he missed his stop.
Right.
They didn't, nothing happened to him. You
Right.
know?
Right. Absolutely
But
not.
they was just, letting them know,
Yeah.
where he was at.
Right.
Yeah, you in Mexican Village, and so this is all new. It's
Yes.
definitely
The emphasis.
Yeah, it's definitely a new focus. Yeah, emphasis. I like that word. On this, creating this whole new atmosphere or environment that's uncomfortable for certain groups of people, and because of the way that I was raised and the way I look at the world, it concerns me.
Absolutely.
I'm concerned. Quite concerned, because I'm of the mind that you dig a hole for someone else, you might as well dig a hole for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No one's gonna get out of this unscathed.
And you know what? Let's just go ahead and put it out there. Those of brown hue and darker. That's what we're dealing with. Yeah. Unfortunately.
We are, and we're here, and we have to arm ourselves. Likewise, as the Bible tells us,
or as
to
you
do.
guys say, protect ourselves.
Yeah, we have to protect ourselves and think about it from the perspective of making sure that now that we know, we can sit here and shake our head all day like this is a new day, this is a new time. But if we have to leave, and we want our viewers and our listeners to understand that you have to be in a place where you arm yourself to understand what climate and discern what time we're in.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You know a word I like?
What's that?
Vigilant.
Vigilant.
Be
We
vigilant.
need to be vigilant.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Yes.
keep your head on pivot.
Yes.
How about that?
Right.
Yes.
Don't put your hand in the sand,
No.
And my husband is always reminding me, look at your surroundings. Make sure you make sure you don't have your head down. Make sure you But those things are so important, and we cannot just turn a blind eye to. We can say all day, well, this is not right.
This is unfair.
Or we feel that it's unfair, or we see the shift involved every time we, because, from going to law school and studying these things and actually the implementation of and saying that, okay, this is what we know about the law and what happens, but to see things being broad, to see things being distinctively maybe even taken out of context, or just from the standpoint of just pushing that envelope.
Mm-hmm.
It's a scary place to be in, because you almost feel like our justice system as we know it has changed. I know it's changed from the time that I've been out of law school. It's changed. The dynamic of it, the constraints of it, what to think about it. But I think that we have to understand and discern what time it is.
Yep.
Definitely. Supreme Court has created a certain reputation for how they're ruling in these times. And so as we are remaining vigilant, I think that one of the best things that we could do is maybe just have some tips.
Yeah.
Maybe have some tips and some things that we can do so that we can remain vigilant, not hide our heads in the sand, and pay attention, because it's our responsibility to just be aware.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. So if we are approached, or if someone we know is approached by an ICE agent, what do you think that we should tell people that they should do, or what tip should they know?
You know what? Similar to, again, the age of us speaking with our young African Americans in terms of the time of even being approached by local police. First thing is be calm. Second thing, do not be combative. If they ask you for your paperwork, have it available, have it with you, be able to produce it. And in the case of populations that are involved in immigration processes, in the cases that I have had immigration-wise, have your documentation, have your visa, have your passport, have your paperwork. And I say that because the case that I was involved in, on this particular day, my client did not have his paperwork, and he ended up detained. And he was first detained by the local police, and they called ICE, and ICE came and got him, and he is still in detainment because he did not have his paperwork.
And those are those triggering moments that a lot of times we don't understand. Like, you never intend, or I think for the most part, most people don't intend to have to be pulled over by the police or intend to have those things happen. Or if something happens where you're involved in something, it's like Lori said, it's always important to have the paperwork going. If you're in the process of applying for something,
Absolutely.
if you're in the process of doing something to change your status, to evoke that, it's very important that you have that paperwork on you. You have something to show to give credence to what you're saying, because a lot of times the officers are not going to believe it unless you have something to collaborate with that.
Yes, especially if you are a brown person. You're an Arab person in this day and age, unfortunately. You need to be vigilant.
Look at my face.
Yes.
Because I want to start from I have just this lack of place of not having the knowledge. When you say have your paperwork, then you mentioned visa, passport, those things. Are you talking about even if you are a citizen, is it coming to a place where we need to have our?
Look, it is better to be over-prepared than to be caught unawares.
To be lack of, because I think that this administration is still
stuff, but we're not saying it.
It's really into checking everybody's citizenship, everybody's reason for being here, everybody's
I know that's where we're
motive.
Going.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where we're headed right now. So like we said, we can't just because it is unfair. We can't just say, well, I'm just not going to do it, and I'm not going to be compliant because it is unfair. Yes, it is unfair.
Yeah.
But I would rather for our individuals to come home. I would rather individuals not be detained. I would rather for individuals to have what they need to have and be aware, because the awareness and the key to this is being aware and being, like we talked about, vigilant. This is going to be our running thing, to be vigilant, because we know what we're dealing with right now. And we only know a surface of what's happening.
Yeah.
Right?
So you talking about this is a paradigm shift of how we live.
Absolutely.
This is shifting, like we're shifting into a season or a time where it's not just come and go the way we used to.
And mind your own business.
Yeah.
And be a compliant citizen. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, those days are over.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And just knowing and discerning that this is where we're at, and being able to understand that we have to have the proper things in place. We got to be overly cautious.
Yes.
We have to understand that even right now, because we're in the midst of this war right now, things are changing.
Yes.
On American soil, things are changing. People are being more vigilant on people that are not accepting of what's happening, having to answer a lot more.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Because of the non-agreement with this.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to understand that because that's what's happening, we need to be extra cautious, extra where we're compliant, extra where we're dotting our I's, crossing our T's, and just making sure that we have those things available. So if you are in a situation where you are seeking relief here, or you're looking to be able to continue on in citizenship, you have to be vigilant about it. You have to be overly cautious. You have to be on it when it comes to deadlines. You have to just make sure that you are not doing anything that will put you on the radar of what's happening. But if you are on the radar, you have to be vigilant with making sure that you have things in place, and also making sure that you understand that you still do have the right to remain silent.
Absolutely.
You still have those rights under the Constitution. Like, you don't have to volunteer information. It's very important, like we talked about previously in our previous session, about making sure that you contact a lawyer, immigration attorney quickly. Or even if you're thinking about that you need to change your visa, don't wait until if your visa expires, even within the next 6 months. You should be vigilantly working with an attorney to get that status. Don't take it for granted. It used to be a time where you could just say, okay, well, yeah, they know I'm here because I was here for a legitimate reason.
Right.
Right? I was here for a legitimate reason. So I should be able to continue, even if it's shortly thereafter, if I don't have a status. But if they continue to see you undocumented.
Yeah.
And the sad part about it is that this is not just adults. We're talking about children too.
Yeah.
Children that are actually born here, but their parents don't have status.
Yeah. Wow.
And you had a system in place under previous administration that was called DACA, which was like a protection for them, but those protections are no longer there. And like I said, under each administration, those things may shift.
Absolutely.
But whether we agree with it or not is here.
And one of the things I did want to stress, based upon what you were saying, also make sure that you stay on this side of the law. In other words, if you have applied for asylum, don't commit a crime.
Don't commit a crime. That goes without saying.
Yes.
Yes.
Or even be, tangentially close to where it looked like you might have been committing a crime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because the client that I had, he had applied for asylum. But he was in a situation where he was being attacked. But they were able to sort of move the facts around to where, you were involved in a situation that was criminal-like.
Yeah.
And so that, on top of him not having his paperwork, detained.
Yeah, and
Wow.
they're doing that more as far as it used to be a time where people they would let you if you know you weren't necessarily threat even if you have committed a crime they would let you be out on the bond. The bail is really more stringent
Oh my goodness, yes.
now than it is, and just knowing that you putting yourself in a situation where detention is they are doing more, they're building more, they're expanding that out.
Yes, they are building new facilities in
As we
Southfield and
speak.
Highland Park.
Southfield?
Southfield
I
and
heard
Highland Park.
Southfield, yes.
And
Now, I
Romulus,
did.
they have one in Romulus
I
now.
heard. I saw the Highland Park and the Romulus location, which was supposed to be a new. I thought it was supposed to be an automotive facility that was going to go there, and they eminent domain took that.
commandeered it,
Yeah,
yes.
took that facility. It was supposed to be jobs and employment, new employment coming into the area, but instead it's now a private detaining facility.
Yeah, and just knowing that they are the current administration is more of the officers have been given more instructions to detain then ask, as opposed to previously it's been okay. Let's
Ask.
figure this out.
Mhm,
Ask.
right.
Then detain if we're not getting what we need to get. Right? But now it's a shift. So we have to shift with those times and be vigilant to making sure, as you stated, that we have our paperwork current, that we have emergency contacts.
Right.
That we know if you have children, that you have some trusted people that you can call to make sure that your children are being taken care of.
Right.
Just making sure that we are just being more proactive because we know where we're at right now.
And also, you know what I wanted to add? I know I talked earlier about don't commit a crime. That includes don't roll a stop sign.
Oh, yeah.
Don't run a
offenses.
red light. Right. Obey traffic laws.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it could be as simple as a traffic violation because if it's at the level of misdemeanor, that could be a trigger. I talked before about triggers.
Yeah.
That
Right.
trigger this agency to get involved. That triggers them to say, hey, we have a list. And they have the authority based on what they've been given. They've been given a certain amount of authority, but they are supposed to work with local police.
Okay.
So they're supposed to work in conjunction with local police. They're supposed to make sure that they have the proper orders in place. So if they're entering, just like if they're entering a private place, that they must have that legal paperwork to back it up, that warrant to back it up to say that they are legally there for a legal purpose. Not just that you just pop up and you just there because I think you may be there.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you have to have that proper, and it's okay for you to ask as a employment agency or as some place where you know that they may come. It's okay for you to ask them to produce that paperwork.
Yeah.
So just like we're supposed to have paperwork, they're supposed to have some too.
Absolutely.
So, talking about when you're out, how about when you are in the confines of your own home, and you're in your private home, and if they don't produce a warrant, or do they have to have a warrant? What's going on with that? Because I think that there's a question, if you're able to speak to it, and there's a question of what kinds of rights do you have outside and inside?
Well, they are supposed to produce a warrant to come any type of dwelling. They are supposed to produce some type of warrant to say that they are authorized.
And a warrant from the court.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, from the court. So the ICE still has to go through the courts. Warrants are issued by judges. So they still have to go through that process if they want to go to indwelling. Now, if they come in voluntarily, you ask them to come in voluntarily, you can at that point because you're not getting them from a dwelling, from their own dwelling. So at that point in time, but if they're on the removal list, they are subject to that detention. They have the discretion to say, hey, we want to detain this person, or we want to let this person out to be able to do what they need to do, during this time. If they're no present a risk, but if they produce the information to the court to say that they feel like this person should be detained and the judge agrees with them, then they can issue that warrant to come get them in a place where they know they would be.
Oh, wow. Okay. I see.
In other words, the expansion of what you were talking about from the time that you grew up to where we are now.
Yeah. Wow.
So we have to be vigilant. I think that's our running theme right now. We have to be vigilant. We have to understand and discern the time that we are living in, a time where these agencies. I knew it was serious when I saw a commercial for recruitment of agents.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I saw one too.
I said, so we recruiting
on
TV?
now? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This is serious.
It is.
They need more people.
Yeah. Bonuses and all kind of promises,
all
of
kinds
benefits,
of promises,
and
right?
For loan forgiveness and all that, and also now, how do you think? This is a maybe unrelated question, but do you think it's related? We have to have the new license with the enhanced license. Thank you. I couldn't remember the name of it. The enhanced license. Now, for the rest of the folks who are citizens, what do you think that this is connected anyway or leading to? We're on the road to. This is why we have this enhanced license requirement for flying. Why this, urging people to get passports, things like that.
Yeah, everything's tightening up. Just generally.
Yeah.
And so, I do think that it is a part of making everybody compliant with this tightening of the grip in terms of American citizenship. And do you have a right to be here?
Okay.
The paperwork requirement is expanding.
Where's your papers?
To regular citizens.
Yes. And it's becoming important that we have to comply and making sure that we are going over these hurdles. Even though it seems like hurdles, we have to make sure that we are being proactive with making sure that we have our documents together.
Yes. Because that's definitely what I see, and making sure, when we were younger, just learning to drive and all that kind of stuff, my parents would say, always make sure you have your driver's license with you. If you get a ticket, let me know.
Right.
So that you just don't have these issues on top of it's already difficult getting your life started and, kicking off, and you don't want to have your license suspended. So now, what kind of talk are we having with our families? What kind of conversations should we be having with our young men, with our young folks?
What? As I alluded to earlier, in the age where police brutalities, fatalities as a result of police officer intervention, we were already having, in the Black community, we were already having those talks with our young men in terms of, again,
and women.
Don't be rolling, and women, right. Don't be rolling no stop sign. Don't be breaking any traffic laws. In other words, don't put yourself in a situation where you even have to be pulled over.
Yeah.
But it to your point, that conversation has been, moved to our immigrants, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They are experiencing some of the focus that we've had for a long time. But so in answer to your question, we are re-emphasizing our children to be careful out here in these streets. Because, not only is it still existing for our young people, but it's expanded to people of color and immigrants.
Yes. And we have to just understand that we have to have those tough conversations. We have to make sure that we are getting that information out and about, and understanding that, it doesn't matter if we feel like it's fair or we feel like, we have rights to these things. Yes, you do have rights, but understand that we want you to be able to come home, and we want you to be able to explain those rights at another time when there is that venue to do that.
Yeah. Wow. This is, I'm glad that we're having this conversation. And I know even maybe a few shows ago, we began to talk about what was happening ICE, I guess around the time that this new administration took office, and we began to see that expansion of emphasis. And we talked about having attorney Lori come on.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we did.
back then.
She agreed to come.
Yes.
We're
And
so
I thought, like, wow, it's a good reminder that things are changing and we can't continue to do business as usual. I mean, same thing with a war. Right now, you're gonna have changes in the market. You're gonna have changes in just our way of life. We've had some things recently happen here in the news and recently happened here in town that is a result of
what's happening.
what's happening globally. So what I really want to get to is that a lot of times we live in this microcosm, or we live in this little bubble, and we're only thinking about what's happening immediately on our streets. But this is it's a global economy.
Yes.
We have a global reach, and we have a global, I guess, the things that, or purview, the things that are going on in other parts of the world. For example, my social media manager lives in Dubai. And, I'm texting her, like, are you okay? Is your family okay?
Is she okay?
Are we still meeting on Thursday? Because they're being affected.
Right.
Yes.
Is she okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
she's
well,
good.
that's good.
Yeah,
That's
she and her
good.
family, they're good. She said it's scary, what's going on. But yeah, it's not just here.
Yeah, it's affecting us all.
It's
and we need
affecting
to-
us everywhere.
And you know what you reminded me of is I'm not sure whether I have heard that they were thinking about imposing the draft.
I
Yeah.
had heard that.
And so
And I have a
that-
26-year-old male.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, wait a minute now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a for young people coming up, that's a very difficult conversation to have about what's happening now and how it impacts our family and how it impacts the people that we love. So it's very important that we stay vigilant, stay informed, stay with our pulse to what's going on with the right information.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
With the right information and dispelling these myths and making sure that we're not being in tune with misinformation and that we are actively in pursuit of the truth.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we don't want misinformation because that can cause us to be afraid.
Yes.
Right.
And we don't want to be.
We can't live in fear.
Yeah.
And God has not given us
The spirit of
Spirit
fear,
of
but a
fear.
sound
Come on
mind.
now.
Yeah. Power.
Yes.
Love. A sound mind. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you mentioned that, it triggers this conversation I used to have with my dad, and I've been reading. He recently passed away, and I've been looking at his life and reading his story, having to tell his story. And one of the things that he experienced, like it sounds like his childhood all the way up through, he went to Northern High School, and he had a fun childhood. He was one of the older big brothers inside the house with younger sisters that were, I heard they were the cute girls in school, and he was their big protector. And as soon as he graduated in 1965, he got drafted. As soon as he turned 18. He got drafted and had to go over to Vietnam.
Wow.
And he was over there for a year. And he ended up having to he stayed there for a year, and when he came back, my aunts say that, boy, was he changed. He had grown up, of course. He had seen another perspective of the world. America wasn't the same. Home wasn't the same.
Wow.
And they just said that, he was a completely different person. And when I talk with him growing up, he will always say that, I just want to make sure that you all know how to take care of yourselves. And that's what he wanted for his family. He said that I'm not going to be here always, so y'all got to pay attention. You know?
That was what he was paying
Yeah,
attention.
pay attention, and it's up to you to figure this world out, because it isn't just what you see on TV. What they show you on TV. I've seen something else.
Oh, wow.
Right? I've seen something else, and y'all just need to know that all this right here is
That ain't it.
this isn't it.
Right.
You know what? That reminds me that they say that once somebody is elected the president of the United States, that they take them in the room and they reveal
All the
what everything that's really going on, and that by the time for example, President Obama left that room, his hair was already started turning gray. Because there's so much, just to your point, there's so much going on that we have no idea.
We have no idea.
Yeah.
It's like behind the curtain, behind those things, and we have to not have our head in the sand. We talked about that too, as far as just being aware, knowing those things, and knowing that there are things beyond what we see. So we got to go beyond the surface.
True.
But God is in control.
He is.
Listen, I was just getting ready to go to Romans 13.
Yes,
Listen,
sir.
I was getting ready to go to Romans 13 because I remember studying how, why does God tell us to follow the laws, to obey government, to obey the rules and the laws? Because the laws that we have in our land, the laws of the land have been set up to keep order, for protection. So that's so we may say that there's conspiracy going on and all this other stuff. But to some degree, that's for our sanity. It's for our protection. It's for our order. And so I want to take it to a spiritual perspective. The spiritual perspective is the universe is governed by laws and order. The universe, right?
That God set up.
That God holds back evil so that we can experience life.
Yes.
So we don't have to say that, there's all this going on in the cosmos, there's all this evilness. Well, yes, it is, but guess what? Just what you just said.
God is in control.
God is in control.
And we know.
And we don't have to try to delve into the spiritual darkness in order to see it.
We ain't going in that room.
You can't handle the truth. I can't handle the truth.
Right.
No, I don't want to know.
Nope.
You don't know. You don't want to know.
He didn't create you to see it all. You don't got to see it all.
No.
He said, guess what? I already handled it. I already took care of it. Don't even delve into the spiritual realm. If you enter the spiritual realm illegally, then now you have broken the law, and now evil has access to touch you.
That's it.
I'm preaching Deuteronomy 18, 17.
And we know that we trust God with our lives. Our lives are in His hands.
Yes,
right?
yes,
And
yes.
so if we believe that and we trust the Creator, then we don't even have to worry about anything else, because we know that He controls it all.
Yeah.
Right? And we know if we're connected to Him.
And I pray every morning. I'm like, Lord, keep my mind right.
Oh, that's it.
Because all this going on, keep my mind right.
My dad used to sing that song. It was a song he used to sing about keep my mind. And it was a
Yeah.
song. And that's what it said.
That's good.
And it was just like, and the older I got, the more I understood why. And then when he passed away, he was in his 90s. But he had his right mind, was so sharp.
Yeah.
Was all those things. But it was just like, he used
That's
to
a
sing it
blessing.
all the time. It was like every Sunday at church.
my
Because he was
mind.
fast. He was keep my mind. And it was just like, why is he singing that song so much? But
Listen, the older
as
you
I
get.
I understood.
Keep on
that
living.
it's-
You gonna figure it
It's
out.
so important that God keeps our
Keeps our
mind.
mind.
Unless God keeps the city, right? Unless He keeps us, we won't be kept.
That's right.
We can be caught up in all the stuff that's going on in this world,
That's
and like
right.
you said, He holds it back.
He
from
holds
us.
it. He holds it back, and that's what. So we had a Bible study class, and I had to teach that chapter. And the people who were on, it was right around the time that this new administration was coming in, and my chapter was to convince the saints to follow government. And it seems like that this is a not so caring government. how even today, how are we supposed to apply this word to today? Is he talking about today? Has God been watching the news? Has he been seeing those executive orders that have been coming down? And here we are talking about, how this is impacting our lives. And I will say yes. Yeah. Yes. I trust God.
Yes,
Trust
sir.
God.
I
my
trust God.
I
And I
trust
know in his word that it has life, that when we apply it, that the miracle, that the protection, that the keeping, that that he'll keep his promise that he will never leave us nor forsake us. And so when it comes to people like yourselves who are learning the law, who are keeping our eyes on the market, keeping our eyes on everything that's coming down the pike, we're the watchers.
We're the watchers on the
We're the
wall.
watchers on the wall.
And we can't come down.
That's right.
We can't come down. We're doing
That's
a good
right.
work, right?
We're doing a good work.
We're doing a good work. We can't come down.
That's right.
And so we're
I
glad.
love it. I love it. And I believe that we have been called for such a time as this. And so I'm gonna do like you said, Lori. I'm gonna keep praying. We're gonna keep watching, and we're gonna keep sharing this information for life, for your life, so that you're informed and you can make some informed decisions and not feel like you don't have a say so or a part to play in everything that's going on.
Right.
We do.
We do.
Yeah.
We all have a charge to keep.
We do. We do. This is good.
This is great.
I know we was going to church, but praise God.
Hey, we
Amen.
did.
We women of God, so we go.
He pulled us there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He did.
That's what we need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes.
But this has been a wonderful episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, and Lori, thank you as always. You're part of our circle, so you gonna
bless
see
you
Lori.
all. Thank you for inviting me.
She's a part of the trust circle. She's a trusted attorney. She's a trusted knowledge. She's a trusted sounding board. She's a trusted watchman on the wall. Right?
Yes.
She's a trusted
Knowledge
person. So we're so glad that you joined us today, and we're going to make sure that you continue to join us for Trust Issues. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share.
Yeah,
and just
tell
come
somebody.
along on the journey with us, and we're going to continue to give you great information.
That's a great place to end. Till next time.
Till next time.